Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Take My Journey. This is going to be the second video in my carnivore series. But before I get into that, I just really have to address my subscribers out there. Everyone that has subscribed, giving me thumbs up, and all the comments that everyone has left. The comments of encouragement, um, just so many people that I have things in common with, people that are interested in all the different subjects that I did on my first video. I just have to say thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm trying to answer as many of them as I can. I'm trying to get to y'all, but I just my son, when he called me and he said, "Mom, look how many subscribers you have." And I said, "I know, I just can't believe it." And he goes, "You need to let them know." And I said, "Oh, trust me, son, I am." And that's why I have to address that first and foremost in the beginning of the video. Just thank you so much for your words of encouragement. And I definitely don't feel like I'm crazy now because of all of you. Thank you. So today we're going to get into my second video on my series of carnivore. As y'all know, I took the carnivore journey, and I'm trying to see if you all want to come on the carnivore journey with me. Today we're going to talk about the pros and the cons and getting started and the different things that happen. So first of all, when you start a carnivore or a keto way of life, your body is used to doing carbohydrates and sugars and using those for your energy and your fuel. So when you begin to start to change the way that you eat and you want to start replacing the carbohydrates and sugar with protein and fats, your body's going to go through a little bit of an adjustment. And that is one of the big cons. It's when you start keto, they call it the keto flu. And I remember, 20 years ago when I first did keto, I went through a flu for a few days. It was kind of tough, you feel. But you know what, honestly, I thought I had the flu. I didn't even know until I read somewhere that you're basically going through withdrawals. And so you get the body aches, headaches, low energy. You feel like you just want to sleep. It's a thing. Trust me. It's real. When I started carnivore, because I was keto for so many years, I felt a little off and I knew what it was, but because I'd been keto, it didn't hurt me that bad. It was a couple days of kind of feeling ugh, but I knew what it was and I just persevered and just kept going. For people who've never done keto and going to keto or carnivore, it could take some people it's 3 or 4 days. Some people it's a week or two. And it's tough. And a lot of times when you go into a keto diet, people give up. They're like, I can't do it. I feel like crap. My husband was one of them. He's like, I'm not doing it. I feel like crap. So that is definitely, I would say, number one of the cons. Number one or number two, because the next one that I'm going to talk about too. It's a con for sure. Also, another con when you start carnivore, not so much keto, but definitely carnivore, when you're trying to tell your body, okay, we are switching to fat as energy. And that's what you want to do because you want to burn the fat off of your body. But if you eat carbohydrates, they use carbohydrates as energy. So one of the other effects, unfortunately, in the beginning is you can get some loose bowels or diarrhea. because your body's not used to handling that much fat. Because you do, in the beginning, eat a lot of fat. I know it sounds crazy, but it's true. My sister-in-law and I, in the very beginning, we were eating our meats and stuff, but we were also putting butter on our meat, putting butter in our coffee. And it was just a surprise to see that the weight started coming off, even though we were eating that much fat. So anyway, diarrhea can be in effect. I had a tiny little bit. My sister-in-law, she was off and on for like a week. The other thing is, like I said, you might have really low energy once your body figures out, oh, okay, we're burning fat for energy. Then your energy comes back because it starts burning your fat and you feel great energy. One other con is a thing called an oxalate dump, where my sister-in-law, she really went through that a lot because she was vegetarian for 20 years, and vegetables have a lot of oxalates in them. So she was having like crystal things come out of her eyes, on her skin, all that stuff. I didn't really have that at all because I'd been keto for, like I said, 20 years. So I didn't feel the whole oxalate dump thing. She really felt it. And she was like, wow, this is weird. The stuff is crusties and stuff. And so because veggies have a lot of oxalates, I've heard, well, her and I, when we were doing it, our two favorite things were Brussels sprouts and sweet potatoes. And they're some of the highest oxalate vegetables out there. I'm like, oh man. So those are kind of some of the cons that you go through in the beginning. But once you get through to the other side, you're good. You're good to go. I want to do the pros in a minute, but one thing that's kind of a con is your friends and family. If you tell them, I'm trying a carnivore diet, they look at you like, what? Are you crazy? This is irrational. You've lost your mind. You're going to have a heart attack. I mean, they really, and it's only, I have to say, it's only because they love you and they want you to be okay. And I get it. I do. My husband was, kind of freaking out about it in the beginning. And then I explained to him one day, it was kind of funny because I said, honey, you eat the same meat I do every night. You're eating the same meat. You're eating the steak, you're eating the chicken, you're eating the bacon. I'm just not eating all those side dishes. And he's like, oh yeah, you're kind of right. I didn't even think of it like that. So I said, it's not that you're being all great and not eating the meat. You are. I'm just not eating all the stuff that goes with it. So that kind of put it in perspective for him. Another thing that you have to deal with is eating out if you eat out a lot. And you can do it. You really can. I learned from other carnivores that two of the all beef patties from, the burger joints like McDonald's or stuff like that, I would just order two burger patties and cheese. And you know what? It was actually really good. And I got that from an idea from one of my other YouTubers, Lisa D1. She does more of, a video on beauty and fashion and all that. But she had terrible stomach problems. And so she went on what was like an elimination diet and found out that carnivore is the best for her. And so she talks about going through McDonald's and getting the two beef patties with cheese. That works for me. A lot of places you can get wings, things like that. And then a lot of restaurants, you can get sirloins and ribeyes and roasted chicken. And it's kind of like the same at home. You just don't eat the sides. A lot of times I'll bring the sides home for my husband, like a baked potato or things like that. Another concern is that everybody has is your cholesterol. And we have been told over and over and over in our head, oh, cholesterol, LDL, it's so bad, it's so bad, it's so bad. And I encourage you to try to find a doctor or talk to your doctor if you've gone on to some of the YouTuber sites that do have studies, and they will cite the studies and things like that, that you can actually print them out and show your doctor. And I will try to get some of those because I remember a lot of the doctors that actually have been promoters of carnivore do have studies like that you can print out, show your doctor, and or do like I did with my sister-in-law. Do it for 30 days. My brother's wife, she was diabetic. She did it, and her numbers were coming down. She was losing weight. So I think sometimes if you show your doctor, that can help alleviate that. I'm not worried about cholesterol as far as the LDL cholesterol. And maybe in a future video, I can show you my numbers on my cholesterol. My overall cholesterol is high, but my triglyceride and my HDL cholesterol has a very good ratio, and all the rest of my blood is excellent. And my doctor is like, no, it's great. It's really great. Another con is, it's hard sometimes not having the variety. It is. It can be very hard just not having the variety. But I would say in the beginning, just really stick to it. And if you start seeing results, very good results, that helps you, get through those hard times of stuff that, might be holding you back. Like, I don't want to do this anymore. Pros, weight loss. Definitely. If you have changed your body from carb adapted to fat adapted energy burning. And I'm going to give you some tools towards the end of this video that can help you watch that, because it's hard for us to know. We don't know. I mean, if you're getting on the scale every day and you're losing weight and you're like, wow, and your clothes are fitting, fabulously and things like that. But you still kind of want to know. I think I mentioned in my first video, and if there's a group of you out there that haven't seen my first video, I'll try to link it here so you can see that, and on my story of how I got started carnivore. Okay. Looking at my notes here. I mentioned in the first video, joint pain goes down once you become fat adapted and your body realizes you're burning fat for energy. Your energy levels come back up. I personally know people that this type of lifestyle, like ketovore, carnivore lifestyle, has helped with diabetes tremendously, from people that I know. IBS, irritable bowel syndrome, Crohn's disease. I think Lisa D1, my gal, I think hers is irritable bowel or something like that. But Crohn's, and autoimmune issues. Jordan Peterson's daughter, at a very, very young age, and I'll try to link her YouTube channel below also, had such terrible, terrible inflammation and an autoimmune that she was having joints replaced as a teenager, and she's been carnivore for years. So I can only give you like people's experiences. Like I said in my first video, I'm not a doctor, but I can give you my experience, my sister-in-law's experience, and other people that I know that have had, really good results with it. As I mentioned, I wanted to bring up some tools that can help you. And one of the things that helped me to see if I am becoming fat adapted is called the Keto Mojo. And I got it and my sister-in-law got one too. We got it on Amazon, and it gives you a little prick on your finger, and you have a tester that can say what your glucose is and what your ketones are in your blood, which ketones in your blood means you're burning um, fat for energy. Okay, so your glucose, you can see if it's low, your ketones are high, it gives you a ratio. And I have to tell you, there's a lot of times I took those tests and there were crazy things that would spike my glucose. And you have to learn about those. And you can learn a lot about them on different doctors on, like I said, on YouTube that are carnivore. And um, one of the things is like working out can spike it. So if you know that, then you could go, oh, okay, my glucose is spiked because I just worked out or something like that. But that can help you when you're looking at your blood. I used to do the strips that you go to the pee on strips, and it was just so kind of generalized and it wasn't, as specific. I highly recommend the Keto Mojo, and it really gives you, and you can look at like a long, you know, what it's been like going on and how you've been progressing on the Keto Mojo. I think a lot of diabetics use the Keto Mojo for their glucose monitoring. Another tool that I really wanted to do, because like I said, the concern everybody has with cholesterol and with your family members, and you can't blame them. You're on your journey, you want to do this. They're not on your journey and they're worried. They're going to be worried. So I decided that after a year of being a carnivore, I was going to get a CAC scan. And that is a coronary artery calcium test. And it's a CT scan of your heart. And it measures the calcium buildup in the walls of your heart. And you can get a score. And so I thought, you know what, after a year, I'm going to take it and I'm going to see. And I thought, I should have done the CT before I started carnivore and then after to see if my number changes or whatever. But I didn't. It wasn't a tool at the time until I really got into carnivore. And so I went after a year and got my CAC scan done. And it came back and my number was 0. I was like, I have been a pretty strict carnivore for a year. And my CAC score was 0. And I have to tell you, now, if you read about the CAC score, it will show, like hard build up in your arteries, but not necessarily soft buildup. So I have to say that. So do your research, look into it, talk to your doctor about it. But at least, I think, somebody might have a score of 7 or something. If you find out what your score is, you do carnivore for a year and then you go back in, see what your score is. Is it still 7? Has it gone down? What, who knows? But it's a good tool to have when you're kind of monitoring this stuff. And it also kind of if you go in and you have a 0 CAC score, like I did, I was able to tell my family and friends who were so worried that I had a 0 score. And that was a tool that helped them calm down about me wanting to do what I do. And I've only done it for, it'll be 2 years in May. There are people, there's a doctor, she's an ophthalmologist, and she's wonderful. I've watched her videos. I'm going to link her in the description below. I think she's been carnivore for like 15 years or something like that. And she shows she's always doing cartwheels and I'm pretty sure in her late 50s, early 60s, she's doing cartwheels on the beach all the time. I'll link her video also, because I really want you guys to, I'm just a person. I'm just giving you my experience. Like I said, I'm not a doctor, so I want you to be able to have doctors that you can follow that are posting studies or information that are reputable and that, they have ways of finding out information in the journals of medicine and things like that. And they take the time more so than maybe we do. So I want you guys to be able to dive into that a little bit more. So I'm going to end that today. I know so many of you in the comments want to see like what I eat on a weekly basis. And I am going to do another video after this that's going to be involved more of the day-to-day stuff that I eat and how that looks and alcohol, things like that. So bear with me on that because there's a lot of information. So I wanted to do that in my next video, and I'll show you some stuff and maybe even do a video or something like that of what I eat. Okay. So again, thank you so much. For those of you who are just joining, maybe haven't seen my other videos, my name is Tracy. This is my channel, and it's called Take My Journey. And I will put a link on my first video, and I hope you stick around for other videos. Thank you everybody who has subscribed. My heart is filled. I'm so surprised. I really, really am. And I appreciate all you so much. So everybody have a wonderful day, and I hope to see you again in my next video. Take care. Thanks.